Welcome to the Beau Show, the home of faith, family, and freedom. What is a global citizen? That is the subject of today's show. I'm sure that you've heard that neat little phrase before, but what does it really mean? I think when we hear the word global, it means several things. One, it makes reference to the fact that we are all supposed to be one human race. And that means that we should not be concerned with borders or national pride. Two, it also has a striking similarity to the word globalist, which of course would be a person, usually an elitist, who wants not just national power, but global power. The idea is that the whole globe can solve your problems, and that's when you get into who is doing the receiving and who is doing the giving. Thirdly, in being called global, it probably means that they are going to focus on the globe or planet Earth. And that means one issue: climate change. With climate change comes regulations, have and have-nots, redistribution of wealth and resources, and again, turning attention away from your own national dilemmas and maladies and focusing on the globe. I'd say the biggest example of a globalist intonation right now is Ukraine, where the globalists have placed a big emphasis on helping Ukraine in its war with Russia. But the devil is always in the details. What may seem like a no-brainer to help out the weaker underdog can be a boondoggle with vast financial interests at stake. Shockingly, according to Monthly Review Online, quote, the Ukrainian government mysteriously disappeared online records of its fundraising arrangement with the FTX crypto scam just days before the scandal erupted. The initiative claims to have raised $60 million for Ukraine. But where did the money go? Unquote. The same was true with the Persian Gulf-Iraq war. It seems like we are helping out poor little Kuwait from Saddam, but at what cost? And who is benefiting from it? It's never as simple as it seems. Well, Bill Gates, whom I have profiled before for being a shady citizen, not just a global one, is urging you to become a global citizen. Let's see how he framed it in 2015 in this YouTube video.
We want to ignite people's desire for connection. The power of digital technology can bring people together and break down barriers. That's where Global Citizen comes in, the way to connect millions of people and take action together to help create a better world. This year represents an incredible opportunity for people to show their support for these issues, to use their voice, to use their time, and to go beyond their own communities to connect with something larger. We need a movement of global citizens, from world leaders to people everywhere, to help solve the world's biggest problems. I've signed up. I hope you will too, and encourage your own network of people to become global citizens.
Now, the logo is a red O, and two things come to mind in terms of imagery. One is the fact that the globe is a round circle, but also O is a convenient symbol for Barack Obama and his campaign, who also has a striking globalist attribute. Here are Bill and Melinda Gates breaking the concept down even more.
Without many millions of global citizens, these issues are going to be neglected and we won't make the progress we need to.
We often hear from people who say, well, I want to get engaged. What can I do to help? This could be a place that people can go to do that and actually be deeply engaged. If people act collectively, we can really solve big problems.
What did Melinda say again? Play that again.
If people act collectively, we can really solve big problems.
If people act collectively, well, that sounds a lot like collectivism, which is a fundamental tenet of socialism and communism. Bill Gates talks about those in need, but he's not focused on the citizens of the United States, for instance. He is focusing outside of borders. In the comments below that video, someone said, quote, I prefer to call you free communist, unquote. So you can see that this mission of theirs is to be global, not American. You could argue that this is the opposite of what Donald Trump did when he presented an America First campaign, which meant protecting our borders, decreasing human and drug trafficking, and boosting our economy so that we could remain energy independent and a world leader. He was skeptical about endless foreign aid. The Gateses are doing something quite different. They are focused on the globe, not America. Now, they have the wealth to do it, but it was America's capitalism that enabled them to acquire this wealth. Rather than speaking to the unique opportunities that America has clearly and obviously provided them, and helping future American entrepreneurs or American poor, they instead focus their energy outward. But so that we can truly be fair, let's go over to globalcitizen.org to find out more about what they are about and what they want to do. They focus on three main issues. The first is to defeat poverty. Here they focus on Africa, Asia, and Latin America. No mention of Americans living in poverty. For the latest info tab, they chose to use the symbol of a clenched fist. This symbol has a deep history, dating back to 1924 with the Communist Party in Germany, left-wingers from the Spanish Civil War, and of course, the Marxist Black Panther movement of the 1960s. Every movement that has the clenched fist is associated with socialism or communism, and usually with the notion of oppression. This is no mistake, and it's not subtle. The website talks about access to nutritious food. Bill Gates is buying up a bunch of farmland in the United States. He is the largest private farmland owner in the U.S., owning over 250,000 acres of farmland. The Land Report, which tracks land purchases, noticed a purchase of 14,500 acres of prime farmland in Washington state by an unknown LLC in Louisiana with just 2 employees. Turns out the investment comes from Cascade Investment LLC, which handles Bill Gates' fortune. Gates' future ideas might be found in a massive land purchase in 2017 in the Phoenix area, in which Gates wants to develop the smart city of Belmont, which will be a digital 5G mecca. Cascade Investment has been covered in a New York Times report concerning inappropriate workplace behavior. So Gates is buying up a bunch of land for speculative reasons. He has mentioned that his land ownership has nothing to do with his plans to save the planet, ironically. Because 50% of farmers do not own the land that they till, they will eventually come to just rent the land that they are farming. And the owner may just be Bill Gates. Furthermore, if agriculture counts for over 10% of carbon emissions, how can Bill invest so heavily in this if he's all about climate change and cutting carbon emissions? The second pillar of Global Citizen is defending the planet. So here they focus on the fact that the poorest countries contribute least to climate change, but also get impacted the most. So here again is going to be an oppressor-oppression narrative with the goal of redistribution of wealth. Nowhere can I find information about who the largest polluters are. They want to point the finger at developed nations, but they conspicuously leave out nations like China and India, 2 of the largest polluters. They also fail to mention that China is increasing its use of fossil fuels, especially as coal is necessary to mine the rare earth minerals that are supposed to make the planet greener, such as electric cars. Needless to say, they don't talk about lithium battery disposal either, which is an environmental consequence.